Hello everyone and welcome to Sneaky Reviews. Today we are checking out the Altra Escalante 2.5s, a brand new update of the shoe which combines a firmer sole from version 2 and a softer, sock-like upper resembling version 1. It is slightly lighter than the previous version as well. These shoes cost around 180 Australian dollars, 140 euros or 130 US dollars. The main selling point of the Altras is that their shape resembles the human foot. These are my first Altras, and compared to my Nike Pegasus 34s, the feel on foot is mind-blowing. The Pegs were the most comfortable running shoes I ever had, but the Escalantes are at a different level of comfort. I have a pretty wide foot, and these shoes just let it sit in a completely natural position, as if I was barefoot, whereas in the Nikes I feel the foot being restricted on the sides and at the top. I did not notice that previously, but being in the Altras I see that my forefoot has a much wider range of expansion than the Nikes allow. My Nike Pegasus 34s, my formal shoes and my casual sneakers are all US size 10 or 28 centimeters. And I bought the Altra Escalante 2.5s in size 10 online as well. I am happy with the size selected. I would say the shoes are true to size, and due to the soft upper and wide toe box, there is no need to upsize even for a wider foot. Lengthwise, they are the same as my Nikes, so going down in size would not be an option as well. The shoes weigh 264 grams each, whereas my Nikes weigh 310 grams each. That is a 15% reduction in weight and will hopefully improve my pace. There is more heel cushioning when compared to the Nike Pegasus 34s, and the recess or the chamber for the heel is less pronounced than on the Nikes, which at first thought may cause heel slippage. But so far, while walking around, I did not notice any heel slippage on neither of the shoes. We will see whether I can feel any slippage during a run. The Altra Escalante 2.5s have a stag height of 25 mm throughout all the foot length, meaning there is a zero drop. Whereas the Nikes have a 28 mm stag height at the heel and 18 mm at the forefoot, with a drop of 10 mm. I never had running shoes with a zero drop before, so it will be very interesting to see how that feels during a run. The shoe is much more flexible than the Nikes, but less flexible than some Nike Free models I tried. The outsole is around 3 mm thick, which is comparable to the Nikes. But the rubber on the Altras is much harder, so the longevity of the shoes should be excellent. The Nikes last me around 800 kilometers, and I believe the Altras will reach or surpass that distance. The outsole does seem smoother than the Nike's waffle pattern, so it will be interesting to see if there is enough grip on the trails. It is a neutral runner, just like the Nike, so if your foot pronates and needs some guidance, you should look at other models. The upper is very soft, slightly resembling the Nike Flyknit material, which feels just like a sock. The forefoot is reinforced significantly. The heel is also reinforced, but less stiff than the Nikes. And the rest of the shoe is very soft and elastic, whereas the Nikes are soft but less elastic and with less headroom. I am interested whether the comfort does not hinder the stability during a run. The tongue is much thinner than on the Nikes and not sewed to the shoe on the sides, whereas it is on the Pegasus. We will see if that causes any tongue slippage during a run. The flat laces look very similar to the Nikes. I do have issues with the laces on the Nikes untying mid-run if not tied in a double knot, so I am interested to see if the laces on the Altras are any better. Okay, let's go for a run. I ran a few 5 and 10 kilometer runs in these shoes on diverse terrain, which included road, rocks, gravel, grass, inclines and declines of varying level, twisty turns, as well as long flat sections, and here is what I found. My feet did need to adjust to the zero drop. I felt much more strain on the Achilles tendon, the ankle, the shins, the calves, and even the lower back, but all of this went away after a few runs. There was no heel or tongue slippage whatsoever during the runs. The shoes feel significantly lighter and slightly bouncier than my Nikes, but less cushioned. The cushioning was sufficient for a 10-kilometer run, and I did not have any knee pain or other issues after the runs, but I would not recommend them for longer distances to people with a weak back or knees. If you run regularly and are not prone to injuries, they are likely a good pick for half marathons or even longer distances. My pace improved by around 3% in these shoes, possibly due to reduced weight and more bounce when compared to the Nikes. My average cadence remained similar to my runs in the Nikes. The traction on asphalt is excellent and better than the Pegasus, but traction on gravel is worse, and I had to increase my cadence to compensate on steep inclines and declines. The shoes are fine for short trail sections, but I would not recommend them for rocky terrain or as a primary trail running shoe. The shoelaces are great and did not untie from a single knot. I used to have a problem of small rocks slipping into the Nikes when running on gravel, but it was not the case with the Altras. I can confirm my initial findings that the comfort of these shoes is phenomenal. My toes were moving freely, there were no pressure spots, and I could forget that I went for a run once I got home as the feet felt fresh and relaxed. I never had shoes that comfortable. But there is a compromise. The feet are less stable in the sock-like upper, and I felt much less stable when doing quick turns or placing my feet on larger rocks. This again confirms that I would not pick these shoes for trails, but as a road shoe, it is excellent. My conclusion is that these are the most comfortable road running shoes for short to medium distances, but lack the cushioning, traction, and stability to be recommended for long distance or trail running. I hope you find this review helpful. Like and subscribe for future reviews, and I am happy to answer any other questions you have in the comments.